Almost exactly 2 years ago, myself and Kim Camellia of the Violet Reality were in LA when we were among the first people to find out about the existence of 1999 Deluxe, because a friend of ours happened to be at an event where a few Warner execs and a few people that consult for the Prince estate were at. And at that event, it was mentioned, we're going to do 1999 Deluxe. And at this point, nobody knew about it. This was the first anyone had heard that this was a real thing. Sat on it for a while, and then in 2018 we started hinting that this is what we'd heard, leading up to a video that we made earlier this year where we blew the whole thing open.
Today, on the 29th of November 2019, the Super Deluxe version of 1999 is finally here in all of its remastered glory.
Here it is. I'm not going to do a proper unboxing for you. It's been done. It's too late. Everyone should have it by now, so there's really no need. And here it is. Check that out. Shiny, shiny. So this is going to be our very quick review of it. It's not going to be a really, really long review because although the album did leak a few days ago and we have listened to the outtakes and the remaster several times, a lot of the attention to detail is really something that we want to spend time with and really go through and really go through the liner notes and the packaging in great detail. And of course, we haven't had the chance to watch the DVD yet. So don't consider this a full review. Consider this a kind of hands-on and a few thoughts. So the first thing you'll notice is how chunky this box is. I mean, it really, really looks great. This metallic silver trim, this like side thing with the album art on the side as well as on the front. The box inlay with the 1999 lyrics right there. I mean, that's very cool. And then the sticker on the front, which says Super Deluxe Edition, 5 CD and DVD. CD1, 1999 remastered. CD2, remastered 7-inch and 12-inch edits. CDs 3 and 4, 24 tracks from the vault. 23 previously unreleased. CD5, live in Detroit, November 30th, 1982. And then DVD, live in Houston, December 29th, 1982. Also includes a 48-page book, including new liner notes by Duff McKagan, David Frick, Andrea Swenson, and vault notes by Dwayne Tudal. And you got the logos of MPG Records, Warner Records, and the Prince Estate. So, what a chunky track list that is. Look on the back, you see everything right there. So let's open up this bad boy and have a look inside. Now, even on the CD version, you will see that it is presented like a vinyl box, which is very cool. So you've got the shiny metallic 1999 here, the side kind of folder, and then all 5 discs that sit inside. Let's look at them one by one. So first we have this amazing book, full 48-page book with full liner notes, which is absolutely incredible to see. Starts off with an intro by David Frick talking about how ahead of its time this album was, which is really true. And I think the remaster really proves that and gives you a little bit of history over it. It's got photos in it, lots of photos from the 1999 era. Then you got the second section in the booklet, which is written by Andrea Swenson, which talks about October 9th, 1981, which if you know your Prince history, that is when Prince was opening up for the Rolling Stones. And of course, this gig went down in history for the fact that Prince and the band got booed off the stage by the Rolling Stones fans. Little did they know. So the reason that's talked about in here is that it very much, informed where Prince would go next. When that gig happened, it was still the controversy era. It was not the 1999 era. And I think it's very interesting to kind of think about the psychological impact of what this did to Prince and how he then changed his music for 1999 and, of course, Purple Rain. And I think it's a safe bet to say lots of the people in the audience at the Rolling Stones gig that day were the same people cheering on and loving Purple Rain just a few years later. And next up in the booklet, we've got handwritten lyrics from 1999. If you've seen the Prince book that came out last month, The Beautiful Ones, then you should be in the habit of seeing Prince's handwritten lyrics by now, but it never gets old. Very, very cool. Some of the ones in here I think are the same as in the book, but then there's ones that aren't. So In this booklet, we've got Let's Pretend We're Married, handwritten lyrics, Automatic, International Lover, almost all of the songs. B-sides like Irresistible Bitch, handwritten lyrics in here as well. This is really, really cool. Even handwritten lyrics to songs that are being released here for the first time, like Purple Music, are in here, and No Call You. That's very, very cool to see. Definitely a welcome addition to the pack. And then next up, we have a story or an essay by Duff McKagan, bass player from Guns N' Roses, about how this album changed his life. And I think if you're not a Guns N' Roses fan, I mean, we saw them live a couple of years ago. Duff had a massive Prince symbol sticker on his bass. But if you didn't know, you might not know that Duff is a huge Prince fan. In fact, I recall him covering Bambi many years ago. So I always knew he was a Prince fan. But to have his story in here about how this album in particular impacted his life and career, I think is very, very cool. So big shout out to Duff. Very, very cool. We have lots of outtakes from the 1999 album sleeve photo shoot. So you know that infamous picture of Prince on the bed with smoke and the neon lights that Alan Bolio took. There are lots of alternate versions of that picture in here. And much like on the original's release earlier this year, we have lots of photos of the tape reels of these songs that were brought up from the vault for the remastering. The final section in the booklet is, I think, the one that a lot of fans are going to spend a lot of time with. So it's a track listing for the 2 discs of vault tracks, but with detailed notes, which includes quotes from Prince himself on certain songs, quotes from engineers like Peggy McCreary. There's even quotes from Vanity in here. And then it's all added to by information by Dwayne Tudal, author of Prince and the Purple Rain era studio sessions, and a very good friend of ours. So very, very cool to see Dwayne's notes in here. He is certainly one of the people that knows the most about Prince's vault as a Prince historian, much like ourselves. And it is very, very cool to see those notes in here. Very detailed. I think for the average person that picks up this set, obviously, most people that buy this set are going to be the diehard Prince fans, but I think there's a huge amount of value in here for people that are new to Prince. And I hope that, some people will hear this album for the first time as this version with these unreleased songs, and they'll get to read these detailed notes as well, and paint a really, really clear picture of where Prince was at during the 1999 era. I'm not really going to talk too much about any of the things within the notes about the unreleased songs, because I think that you should read it yourself. But one quote that I do really love is for one of our favorite unreleased songs, or now it's released, it's not an unreleased song anymore, If It'll Make You Happy. There's a quote from Prince where he says, "When I'm recording, I could have orgasm on my mind and my bass player could have pickles on his. It makes it a little rough when you listen back to a track and it's not played with the same intensity." I think that is just an incredible quote. I love it. And then finally, we have the credit details for the 5th CD and the DVD, which is the live audio show and the live video show. Of course, the band basically being the Revolution at this point, save for Wendy, with the addition of Jill Jones. It's very, very cool to read these notes. And I think what's particularly cool is when we've been listening to the live audio over the last week or so, I mentioned on Twitter that the mix of the live audio was like super, super clean. Usually live audio can be a little rough. And that I thought I'd read before that David Z, Bobby Z's brother, had newly mixed the audio for CD5. And that is true. I was not making that up. It wasn't some kind of weird dream. But I knew that had to be the case, because when you listen to the mix of that live audio, not only is it the work of a very skilled mix engineer, but it's the work of somebody who knows exactly how that show was supposed to sound. And I think that's incredible. It can be a little difficult to listen to live audio a lot of the time if it's not mixed, or even if it is mixed by somebody that doesn't really know the band that well. It can not always be an easy listen, but this is mixed incredibly well. It's live audio that I think even people that don't usually listen to live audio will enjoy listening to. And that's probably the highest compliment that you can give for that. One thing that I didn't know, that I'm just learning right now, and this actually makes a lot of sense because Dwayne is a friend of ours and I knew that he was involved in this kind of industry as well. Dwayne executive produced the DVD restoration of the live DVD that comes with the set. Now, I actually knew that Dwayne worked in the film and TV video area, so that's not surprising, but that is very cool to see. So not just an author, but incredible job in that area as well. Although I haven't watched the DVD yet, but I know it's going to be great. I mean, come on. Finally, we have the last page, which has some thanks on it to everybody that worked on this record, all the fans and fans, and of course, Prince's family. And that is the booklet. Now, each actual disc is a kind of gatefold cardboard sleeve. So this one opens up like this to the full wide image of Prince on the bed. And then each CD held within. Disc 2, promo mixes and B-sides. Same again. Opens up to, this time, all of the pictures of the different vinyl releases that came out over the year. Disc 3 is Vault Tracks 1. It starts with the multi-track reel image of All You Want on the front cover. And then opens up to the same image on the inside and some more handwritten lyrics for that song, for You're All I Want. Interesting that they would choose that one to go with for the real picture and the images. So also confirmed that the vault tracks were mastered by Bernie Grundman. That is very, very cool to hear. Vault Tracks 2, the image appears to be on the front, Teacher, Teacher. And then on the inside, Can't Stop This Feeling I Got, which interestingly is on the same reel as Jealous Girl, which has yet to be released. But since they've obviously digitized this reel to get Can't Stop This Feeling I Got on it, it stands to reason that they've digitized Jealous Girl off the same reel. So hopefully Jealous Girl gets a release soon. It's been bootlegged for a while in bad quality. Would love to have that one in perfect quality with Prince's vocal on it. So I guess Originals Part 2, Estate, you're going to have to do it. Jealous Girl is on there. If it's not, we're going to have some words. Believe you me. What else have we got in here? We have got Don't Let Him Fool Ya is also on that same tape, apparently. So that reel is Don't Let Him Fool Ya, Can't Stop This Feeling I Got, and Jealous Girl. And Can't Stop This Feeling I Got, handwritten lyrics are in there as well. Moving on to disc 5, the Live in Detroit audio. Love that picture of Prince on the front. That is awesome. Very, very cool. I keep saying that, but everything about this set is cool. That's just a fact. And wow, what an awesome live picture, I guess, from that show on the inlay. Awesome. This really is a phenomenal set. And then the final one is the DVD, another fantastic picture of Prince on the front of that, doing his thing in all his purple glory, surrounded by smoke. Doesn't get better than that. And on the inside, the extended hands of fans reaching out to Prince on the stage. Love it. Imagine if that was you, if one of those hands was you and you knew it. You're like, yes, that's the shirt I was wearing that day. I remember. And that is it, really. That's everything. Here we have the empty case. There you go. Now I have the job of putting it all back in order to make it look good again. But as I said, we're not going to go too much into our thoughts on the songs at this time. What I will say is that I think the selection of songs for discs 3 and 4, the vault discs, I think it is 90% of the perfect set that I wanted to see. If you've been following me on Twitter, you know that I've been upset that Extra Lovable and Lust You Always were not included for the set, even though they were pulled out and we know that they were digitized and remastered for possible inclusion. They made a decision not to include the songs because of the rape lyrics on those songs. That's very frustrating to me. Michael Howe confirmed this, the estate archivist. He confirmed this in a recent interview that was the reason the songs didn't get included, and they didn't want to edit or censor the songs. My response to that is that, one, these are not throwaway songs in any shape or form. Extra Lovable is consistently ranked as one of the best unreleased Prince songs in its original form. Lust You Always, likewise, is an absolutely fantastic song. And as far as editing goes, we know that tracks on the originals release earlier this year were edited. Some of them were not the real originals. They were composite mixes. Baby You're a Trip, for example, is a blend of the original Prince version and the later on Jill Jones released version. Noon Rendezvous is stripped down from all the original instrumentation that was recorded for it. For whatever reason, that creative decision was made. So it's not like edits haven't been done. And in the grand scheme of things, reversing a single word or a line or editing out that line is really not a big deal. I think I'd be willing to say that almost all Prince fans would put up with this for the sake of having the songs in high quality. But I understand their rationale in this kind of culture that we live in right now. These kind of issues, they can get more attention than ever before, sometimes warranted, sometimes unwarranted. And the fact remains, this is a very important release for the Prince estate. And I suspect they didn't want to run the risk of those kind of headlines taking attention away from the release. And I totally get that. So if that is the case, I would say find a way to get those songs out in a way that they're not tied to a huge release that you need to be a success and that you spent a lot of money and time on. Whether that is, some kind of relaunch of the NPG-MC, or digital download subscription club or something, or, a Requesto Day release with those two songs on it, or there's so many options, those cover mount vinyls that have come with magazines that we've seen over the last year or so. Yeah, anyway, I think there's ways that they can get these songs out for us without necessarily running the risk of headlines dominating a really important release. And I really, really hope, and Estate, Michael, if you're watching this, please release those songs. I think it's overwhelmingly clear that fans would rather have these songs out in perfect quality with a slight edit than, not at all and just living with the poor quality bootleg versions like we have done all this time. So there you have it. I said it wasn't going to be a super long video, and it probably is anyway. But 1999 Deluxe Remaster Super Deluxe Edition is out now. 5 CD and 1 DVD set, or there is a vinyl set that it is out as well. Hopefully we're going to get our hands on that soon. The remaster itself of the 1999 album sounds fantastic to me. I'm still going to test it on lots of different systems. On my main studio monitors, it sounds absolutely great. I have perfect confidence now to be able to drop the album tracks into my DJ sets without having to rely on fan-made remasters like we have done all this time, or the few sort of remasters that have been available on compilations and whatnot. So that's great. All of the Vault tracks are actually, or the vast majority of them, they've been mixed and mastered really, really well, enough to where actually you could play these in a DJ set as well, and I might well do that. Haven't watched the DVD yet, but stay tuned. We'll do a separate video on that when we get the chance. Promo mixes and B-sides. I think it's very cool to have them all in one place. I'm not sure that every single one of them was necessary, but you know what? That's just minor nitpicking for the sake of being a completist. I think it's cool to have them on there. So really, my only minor, grip is that I really want those 2 songs released. What can I say? I do think I speak for the vast majority of the fan base in that respect, but it is what it is. Congratulations, Prince Estate. I think this is like damn near a perfect set. You've done a fantastic job. This is easily the best release so far, the best posthumous Prince release so far by a country mile. The liner notes are fantastic. The packaging is amazing. The sound sounds fantastic. The inclusions of unreleased songs and the DVD and the live audio, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant set. Like I said, damn near perfect. If you are watching this and you haven't bought it yet, we'll drop a link to buy it in the description. You can get it from your local record store or Amazon or wherever you buy music from. Make sure you listen to it on streaming, like Spotify as well. Get those streaming figures up. It would be nice to see Prince songs make it into some kind of streaming charts or whatever, however that works these days. That would be cool as well. I think they should do a video. I think they should do another animated video. I would say Do Yourself a Favor is one of my favorites. That would be perfect for an animated video. Or the alternate take of How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore. That would be cool. If you could put it, like set it to a bunch of footage of Prince playing piano or something like that, that would be awesome. I'm looking forward to see what the continued promotion looks like for this over the next couple of months. And that's it. 1999 Deluxe. Buy it now with the Violet Reality. My name is Casey Wren. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, drop us a comment, let us know if you bought it. If you didn't buy it, why not? Let us know either way. We want to know what you think of it. Make sure you share this video and all that good stuff. And we'll catch you next time. Peace and be wild.
Hey, St. Paul here. Make sure you go subscribe to the Violet Reality, the funkiest channel on YouTube.